Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1999's In Too Deep.
Otherwise known as the movie Martin Scorsese completely bit in order to make The Departed.
The whole thing was an experiment.
Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Idle Poncho. Let's get into the cast of 1999's In Too Deep. This film stars Omar Epps as Jeff Cole, LL Cool J as Dwayne Gittens, or God, Stanley Tucci as Preston D'Ambrosio, Nia Long as Myra, and Pam Grier as Detective Angela Wilson.
Look, Regina King, we've said it before, she is our queen. We worship the ground, she walks on.
Yes.
But Lust, thy name is Nia Long.
Yes, actually, I am.
She was so fine in this movie, I literally tried to join the police academy at 43 years old. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? I'm like, I want to be undercover.
I want to be undercover and then take photography classes and meet Nia Long. Oh, well, this movie, Omar Epps plays Jeff Cole, who's fresh out of the police academy. He's doing well undercover, and he gets a chance because of his success to go undercover and get in and befriend a local crime boss, Dwayne Gittens. And the movie opens with Jeff riding with a crew. They're telling him that he has to kill this dude, and it cuts between that and Jeff teaching a group of cadets the ins and outs of undercover work.
Which was awesome. And kind of the duality of what's happening here sucked me right the fuck in. Like, I was
Absolutely. Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Same. It then flashes back to 2 years earlier when Jeff is graduating from the police academy. He tracks down Preston and tries to get him into undercover work. And he gets the opportunity, and we cut to Jeff out on the street getting a bust on his first time out.
Yeah, the theme of this movie is basically how aggressive he is. He's aggressive in going after the job. He's aggressive in going after these first brothers who are selling coke, I guess. Which, by the way, just as a side note, I love when all these like little bit players get to have real roles in a movie.
Yeah.
And get a chance, because this movie's full of them.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. Like old dude from Half Baked. Scarface from Half Baked is one of the drug dealing brothers in this. Fucking great. But they show how aggressive he is in going after these guys. He's even aggressive like with his boss when he's got the job.
Yes.
And his other guys on the team. So much so that, can I ask you a question? Did they fuck him on purpose with that wire?
I don't know, but it kind of seems that way. But so in the scene, we see a drug deal with Scarface, and it goes wrong. He's almost shot because backup wasn't there. Yep. And in this scene, like, the mother grabs his dick or like grabs his crotch, and they say, is that where the wire is? Mm-hmm. Like taped under his balls or whatever? Listen, and they're like, oh, it's, he just did a bump, and so like he's sweating and yada yada. Like, listen, if you tape anything behind my balls, it's gonna short out just on a Tuesday afternoon, just for no reason. Okay, if you're worried about the shoddy wiring, you might not want to tape it behind someone's nutsack.
Especially when they're a vigorous masturbator like Armando is apparently every Tuesday.
You're right. It's fact.
He then, after that, meets with Preston. And Preston tells him that he's getting a big case and he's going after God now because he's now proved himself in the field and everything's cool. And Jeff gets right in there. He's immediately in with all these dudes. And like you said, he's aggressive from jump, and he's very convincing, and this kind of goes to through the rest of the movie. When he gets in, like, he's in, his mind is in that space, and he's all about this. He's got blinders on.
100%.
But then we cut back to the beginning after Jeff fails to kill the dude in the street because he's shooting around him, and
which was so smart.
No, it's great. And the beginning piece when he's talking to the cadets about this, and he's asking them what they would do, and everybody's wrong. Both people that come up, the one chick shoots the dude, and he's like, "Yeah," and now you're fucking going to jail. You didn't see if he had a gun. There's no threat. You just shot a dude in cold blood.
Yeah, hi, police officers. Uncle Corey here. Your first option should not be to pull the trigger. Ever. That is an absolute last resort. This bitch fucking, they're like, hey man, that guy just fucking tripped while he was jaywalking. What are you gonna do? She's like, clack, 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 clack. He fucking cracked this motherfucker. Like, he beat her up. It was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, of all the guesses you could have made,
yeah,
that's the wrong one.
Well, and it's not like she shot him in the knee or in the foot. She shot the motherfucker right here. Just and center mass.
She thought, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. She probably volunteered because she thought she knew the answer. Which was, I'm just going to pull the fucking trigger. As long as I'm alive, fuck that cop. It ain't my problem.
Flash forward to 2020, and they were like, hey, good thinking out there. Jeff is now in with God, and they send him out on a deal. He gets jumped and almost killed. He shoots both dudes and runs. Shoots one dude in the dick, which, good on you. Good on you.
Awesome. Normally that's some cold-blooded shit, but when you get some backstabbing assholes like that.
Yes.
Especially when the Sticky Fingers is just like, yo, just give me your shit. Give me that gold.
Yeah.
The other guy's like, yo, just fucking waste him. Whoa. Whoa. Now you are getting shot in the dick, Chief. It's cool. Like, you're trying to rob me. That's cool. I'll shoot you in the foot, shoot you in the knee, whatever.
Yeah.
This motherfucker? No, you're getting your dick shot off, cuz. Period.
He finally gets out and calls Preston, who wants to pull him from the case. Jeff hangs up on him and goes back undercover that night. And Preston then meets Jeff at his apartment afterwards and takes him off the case.
And why is this like always? It's always become such a cliche. And this is what this was kind of early on in like the overrunning of undercover guys.
Yeah.
In organized crime. But every cliche here is met.
100%.
Like now he is the movie title. He is the titular In Too Deep. Like, get the fuck out of here. And my problem with it is because there was no real evidence of a passage of time. It seemed like he had been there for a week.
Yeah, and
like God finds out he knows how to box, and then is like, all right, man, I don't know, send him on a run with these two guys. And then he disappears, and then he's just willy-nilly allowed to come back in. Like, much of this seems like it wasn't paced very well, or they didn't let us know how many months at a time were passing.
Exactly. They did a couple of times. So obviously with the screen card where it's like, hey, this is 2 years earlier.
Right.
And then he's at the cookout after his first bust. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's his dad but he says, you've been at this for a year. So we know that a year has passed that he was on the job before he gets the job with God.
Right.
And there has to be a year that passes from that time to the time that he's training cadets. So it's somewhere within 12 months. And like 3 months goes by here, but like you said, it's not within that span, that year-long span. You don't know where he's at and what the timeline is, but it does seem like it's 2 weeks. You're in too deep, bitch. It's been 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. Like, I got to pull you out. Legitimately, you just shot a guy's dick off. Shit's gotten real. This is not our objective.
Yes.
We're not here to shoot drug dealers' dicks off. We're here to fucking get them like arrested and prosecuted. And he's just like, nah, fuck that. I'm a dick shooting son of a bitch now.
Yes.
I'm in too deep.
Yep.
And it just happens so quickly.
Yeah. We then flash forward because he takes him out to some crack house that the government took over, and like, this is you in hiding now. And Jeff's taking a photography course at a nearby college. And
I don't know if this was the intention or just the byproduct of casting, because it's not Stanley Tucci's fault. He's a great actor. I'm not fucking with him in any way.
I love him.
However, this is like when like kind of a white savior complex starts to overcome the character, because he's like, I looked into your background and I saw your only hobby was photography. There are local photography classes at the college.
Yeah.
Calm down, Dad. You're my boss.
Yes.
Okay, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, I know you're...
starts getting... Like, Stanley Tucci's getting in too deep at this point.
Yes. Like I know you're concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're concerned, but like, give me some breathing room and let me get my own R&R. And
yeah, like, I hate to break it to you, Pops, but you're not walking Nia Long down the aisle at the end of this movie.
He then here meets Myra, who is the model in his photography class, and they become close very quickly. He initially hires her to be his model, and they start to date. As he's out with Myra, he runs into State Attorney Dan Conley and convinces him to put him back undercover. And he basically goes over Preston's head, and Preston finds out, goes to where he's staying, and reads him the riot act, basically, for going over his head.
Yeah, but also gives him exactly what he wanted.
Yes, exactly. So he and Myra then have the discussion about him going back undercover. And it's, you know, a contentious argument. She doesn't know how to feel about it. She does make the comment like, were you going to tell me, or was I just going to find out like I did? Because you have pictures of all the dudes on the wall in like the bathroom.
Look, there's dedicated, and then there's being a fucking serial killer. And you tripped into serial killer territory.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to back way off on this. And again, just communicate. If you're going to do something anyway, what does it hurt to communicate?
Here's a don't do that. Hi, boyfriends and girlfriends and spouses and such. At the beginning of a relationship, you should lay your boundaries, tell people who you are, which Jeff does in this situation. Tells her, I'm an undercover cop, and this is what I do, and this is what I love, and this is why. But you're taking photography classes. So that's all she knows you as. So if you're going to do something, you should probably communicate that with your boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse and be a little bit more transparent. Don't do what Jeff does here and like, well, you saw the pictures in the bathroom. Obviously, I'm going back undercover.
Yeah, and I'm going to just spell a mystery here, if you will. Saying, well, I'm telling you now. No, you're not. They found out.
Yes, exactly.
And that shit doesn't fool anybody. The reason that wins an argument is because you look like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived when that shit falls out of your mouth. Yep. And us on the other side of that argument are going, I can't even talk to this dickhead. Like, yep. I don't even know what the fuck is happening. So that I'm telling you now bullshit needs to stop immediately.
Yeah. So we then see Jeff back undercover. He's in church with God and his crew at a baptism. He's immediately right back in as he tells God that he went back to Akron after the shooting just to lay low and let things settle down, which he's been gone now for 3 months. So that we do know. He's been gone for 3 months. It's a pretty decent alibi. Like, hey, you already know I'm from Akron. I shot back up to Akron just because of the shooting, going to lay low, yada, yada. So he already has a good cover going back in.
He does, but at the same time, I mean, like, you are the kingpin, right? You're God.
I think you know the answer to that, clown.
And yet, you are so fucking desperate for a competent man that you take in Omar Epps just no problem every time. He shot around these guys. Oh, shit. That's not great. Yo, he got robbed and he shot old dude's dick off. Oh, let's kill that dickless guy because his fucking problems aren't bad enough. And then when he comes back, whenever he wants to, it's all good.
Yes.
Like, you
I know what you're saying.
But you're not talking to God. You can deal with Weebay.
Yeah,
By the way, seeing Weebay from The Wire was the fucking shit also. But you can deal with Weebay's ass. You can deal with these other underbosses. But I'm not fucking with you.
Not yet.
No, it ain't happening.
Yeah. No, I agree with. And by the way, just God reveals that he did kill the dude that he shot in the dick. I would venture to say it would be more cruel to let the dude live like a real life Ken doll than to actually kill him.
He wasn't no good without his dick, no way.
You think wearing fucking Air Force Ones are bad? Try being this dickless fuck walking around the hood. It ain't gonna go well.
But God here then brings Jeff into his office after they go out to the club. A chick notices him and drops dime, says that he's a cop. He confronts him about being a cop. And then he brings him into the basement where he has Frisco tied up to the pool table because he tried to fuck his wife. And this is where God shoves a pool cue up dude's ass. A couple of things. And this goes back to him taking in Jeff quickly. Yes. Because now you have a couple of things. You can have the, hey, I had to lay low and now I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. If you want to take him back, cool. I don't think it's a great choice, but whatever. But you now have that suspicion of why has he been gone so long, followed up with a chick that's like, that dude's a cop. And just because Omar Epps gets into an argument with one of your dudes, and I'm not a cop and I'll fight you about it and bring that chick in here and I'll shoot her in the face or whatever he says, you're like, cool, you're not a cop. Come downstairs and watch me fuck this guy in the ass with a pool cue. Like,
well, and that was kind of my beef with it, was because he never really resolves the situation with Omar Epps.
Yeah.
Like, God desperately needs medicated for his ADHD because he's literally having this fucking interrogation. Weebay and him are fighting over old girl who, by the way, was from 187, in case you didn't recognize her.
Yep.
And like, they're going back and forth. And I kind of agree with Omar Epps. Like, I'm going to call your bluff. You bring this bitch in here. We're not going to settle this. You're convinced by this chick that you've known a couple of weeks, which, by the way, in an organized crime family, that's not evidence of shit.
Yes.
A chick that you've been banging for a couple of weeks in that world, that doesn't mean goddamn shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. So anyway, Omar Epps does the right thing. He's like, bring her in. He's like, I ain't bringing in anybody. And then God's like, hey guys, taps his gun on the desk. And I'm like, oh shit, it's about to get really tense. No, we're just going to totally fucking change subjects.
Yes.
Never come back to this subject. Never have any kind of resolution whatsoever between Weebay and Omar Epps' character.
Yep.
Right? We just go down to watch this gruesome scene where they're just beating the fuck out of Frisco because he got drunk and said LL Cool J's wife was beautiful.
Now I'm drunk with revenge, motherfucker.
Here's where that scene should have gone, is while they're torturing Frisco, they should have been saying to Omar Epps' character, do you want to be tied up on this table next? Do you want to see what we do next? Lift your motherfucking shirt, bitch.
Yep.
And then he lifts his shirt, goes out of the house like all fucking sweaty, arms weak, knees are heavy.
Mom spaghetti.
That's right. And he fucking pulls the goddamn thing out from his balls, which we've already established that's where it is. And he's like, they almost fucking caught me.
Yeah.
And then end the scene. You're done.
Yes.
You've explained it, you have resolution, and you can move the fuck on.
Yep.
And it explains why all of a sudden in the next few scenes, it literally never comes up again.
Exactly. Jeff then has a meeting with the two dudes from God's crew, and they discuss how they're getting treated by God. Jeff gives them some money to kind of get into their good graces. And dude is eating, I don't know if you noticed this, but dude is eating French fries and crushing coffee. And I'm going to start out with this. A, that's just gross. Fries and coffee, no. But this dude is eating like he hasn't ever seen a French fry. And he was like, oh my God, these shits are so good. I'm going to eat 15 of them at a time.
Yeah, this guy eats French fries and coffee like I eat Oreos and milk. Which, by the way, I do in private because I know how disgusting it is. Understand that you're in public, sir. That's fucking nasty.
Yes.
He is just shoveling that shit in like he's never seen a potato seasoned in his fucking life.
I'll tell you this. Speaking as a fat kid, go back and watch some of our earlier videos. I obviously love food. And again, like Corey, I do that shit in the privacy of my own home because I know I'm disgusting. I'm like a chick when I go out and eat with people, and I'm like, I'll just have a salad. Because if I don't, it's gonna get gnarly here in a fucking minute. So
oh yeah, I make a fucking restaurant look like a Jackson Pollock painting just eating a goddamn hamburger.
Jeff then sees Myra again, and she breaks it off with him because she knows what's coming, doesn't want to be a part of any of it, and she already sees the changes in him from who she knew. Not only the hair changes, but his personality changes from who she met and who he is now while he's undercover.
Hi, undercover guys. Uncle Corey here. Don't be fucking in any kind of relationship with another human being if you decide to go undercover. And if you are, like, if you insist, you are absolutely insistent on having some sort of relationship with somebody outside of that world, don't go visit them while you're undercover. Because this happens every fucking time.
Yes.
I'm undercover, and in order to demonstrate that I'm in too deep, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking whore piece of shit.
Exactly.
Just like, hey, I was waiting for like, hey, who's that guy kissing on you over there? Oh, he's just my dance partner. Cool, why don't you get over here and suck this dick, bitch? Like, dude, pump your fucking brakes again.
Yes.
Like, I get it, guy.
It's funny. The undercover work has become like, if you're a band coming up, we have all these behind the musics that have been produced where it's like all these musicians got swindled, and you have the playbook as how to not get robbed as a musician at this point and how not to fight with your bandmates and break up. Undercover has basically has the same playbook. You have this, you have Donnie Brasco. There's a slew of other undercover movies that have come out that literally laid the same playbook out. Let's just stay away from the relationships while you're undercover. Afterwards, when you're teaching at the academy, then go date.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, look, we on this show have been longtime proponents of the jerk and cry. And that's what we, again, recommend here to all undercover agents. When you find yourself in too deep, go into a corner, shed a couple tears, whack your fucking sack, get the poison out, and then go back about your fucking job. You're going to feel great.
Jeff then continues to get deeper. He witnesses God beat the shit out of this chick in front of his kid who's sitting in the car. This motherfucker got the balls to say his kid was crying because he shit his pants when they get back into the car.
Yo, what's up with little man? Nah, it smells like he messed up his diaper.
Of course he shit his pants because he saw you brutally beat a guy.
I shit my pants. Are you fucking kidding me?
But here's another don't do that. Hi, crime bosses. or anybody involved in crime, or if you want to beat somebody and you have children. Don't beat people in front of your kids, because they will cry and it will mentally fuck them up, and possibly they will shit their pants. Just FYI. It's just probably not a good idea to beat the fuck out of somebody in front of your kids.
Yes, totally agree with that.
Just a little.
That's
thing.
Really, really solid parenting advice.
You know what? I'm not a very good parent, but I haven't beat the shit out of anybody in front of my kids. So I think that's a great place to start.
That's a good thing. I will say this. If you do have to beat the shit out of somebody, whether it's in front of your kid or not, I love the car door beating. That is one of my favorite beatings that is so like become a cliche all of a sudden, is sticking somebody in the car door and just fucking hauling off on them.
Yeah.
I don't know why I fucking love it. If you haven't seen a really, really good one, check out the one from Daredevil on Netflix.
Yes.
Because, Vincent D'Onofrio tees off on a dude's fucking head. And it's amazing.
Yes, he does.
The splatter sounds like me eating a hamburger in a restaurant.
Jeff goes back to spy on Myra and questions her about the dude he saw her with, and he's still in character. They get into a fight, and the Cincinnati cops roll up, mace him, take him down after he pulls a gun on them while saying, "I'm a cop." I gotta stop here. Just real quick, I gotta stop here.
Please.
This is Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay? I know a lot of people out there don't know a lot about Cincinnati, but in real life, Jeff gets shot by the cops before he even says I'm a cop, let alone pulling a gun out. This dude's holding on to his mace for dear life, and it's like, Jeff is shot and killed in that situation in Cincinnati. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, yeah. Look, just a couple hours north of Cincinnati is a place called Cleveland. Not that far away. Same general fucking attitude. And yes. A 12-year-old kid got shot playing with a BB gun because they were so fucking scared of him.
Exactly.
Jeff is getting annihilated right here in front of his girlfriend and everybody else that's watching, and they don't care.
You were correct.
Jeff and God then go and meet the hillbillies, apparently, to get this drug deal done. And the cops bust in, and Jeff gets into a standoff with Angela. They both get arrested after he puts the gun down. God tells him, like, hey, I got a lawyer. We'll be out in a couple hours. Put the gun down. We're good to go.
I got a $600 an hour lawyer. We'll be out by the morning, baby.
I drug a middleman. Your life will be easier and longer if you're not a fucking racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
And a PSA.
Yeah.
Just go about your fucking life, man. Why you gotta fucking add your fucking... This is for everyone, not just drug middlemen, okay? Yes. Nobody cares about your fucking opinion on anything.
Ever.
Ever. Ever. So keep all that personal shit. I don't care if it's about black people, your religion, your fucking politics. Nobody fucking cares. You know why we only have 700 subscribers on this channel? Because nobody fucking cares about our opinion about fucking movies.
Exactly.
This is ego. This isn't for fame. This is ego.
No, this is me and Corey just liking to laugh at each other's dumb jokes.
Because nobody else does. Clearly.
No. After they quote unquote both get arrested, they bring Jeff out, and God gets the big reveal that Jeff is undercover, and Preston reads him his rights, and they take him away. And as they take him away, God is still under the impression that, no, this can't be real. You're not an undercover cop. This is you. This is who you are. You've done such a great acting job. And he can't get over his own ego that he thought that he was in his crew and whatever. Bro, at this point, you got to be in your head going, there was a red flag. There was a red flag. Fuck, there was a lot of red flags here. I probably should have killed this dude a while ago.
Yeah, no, he was busy thinking about his Boys to Men glasses he's going to wear at the trial. my problem here is like the DA or whoever's on site, right? Like the police chief or whoever this big shit guy is that's continuously fucking interjecting. Yeah. He's on site and he's like, hey, officer da-da-da-da, why don't you read him his rights? And I'm like, yo, bitch, I'm an undercover cop. Why don't you shut the fuck up and arrest me too, dickhead? Why are you outing me? Why is this not cop outing me in front of the fucking world?
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, dickhead, and arrest me too. You can take me out later, and at the trial, people can figure it out. This drove me insane.
Yeah.
No wonder he's not staring at the guy like, what's happening? Because he's in too deep and he's trying to readjust. He's staring at the guy like, you fucking asshole. Why would you out me like that? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Afterwards, we see Jeff. He's in group therapy. It's kind of, we get a montage of Jeff after this. Group therapy, working out, getting back to his life. And then he goes to see Myra again and apologizes. Jeff then goes to court and testifies against God. God's found guilty, gets 2 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. And then after all this, we see Jeff and Myra. They're driving. He invites her to Chicago because he has to go there for training for the rookie cadets. And the movie ends as he's lecturing the rookies again. First of all, I love this movie. Obviously, there's, some little plot holes and things that I didn't like about it that I wish they would have changed. But I would have liked this movie more if it was a little bit longer, because it's just over an hour and a half, roughly, of runtime. And I would have liked it to be at 2 hours with more scenes of him getting into God's crew and how he got so tight with them. If that's how you're going to set it up, or maybe more of a timeline, like this is how long he's been in, this is yada yada.
Yep.
More of that, so that you can kind of see. That was the good thing they did with Donnie Brasco. Yes. Is you saw how, it was him, and then him going back to like his apartment or whatever, talking to the other dudes, and this is how I'm doing this, and that's the one thing I really liked about Donnie Brasco that this needed more of. And if it had more of it, this movie would be flawless. I still, regardless, I still love this movie.
Oh yeah, no, this is a great movie. I'm 100% serious when I say Martin Scorsese bit everything to make The Departed, and he just made it with Martin Scorsese's eye and money.
Yeah,
that's literally the only difference between the movies.
Yeah,
and I think if this movie had the same things attached to it, you would have gotten the exact same kind of movie with The Departed, just Omar Epps and Leo Spot and yada, yada, yada. You could have really drawn it out.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic movie. I think this is a fantastic movie for 1999. I think it's a fantastic movie for a relatively, at least to me, unknown director. I had to look the guy up.
Yep.
I think this was really good for a young Omar Epps, a Stanley Tucci I had never really seen up until this point. Like this was a good movie. It's solid.
Yeah.
LL Cool J even did a good job in this movie.
Yep, absolutely. And I would be remiss without mentioning that this soundtrack is fucking incredible.
Yo, when's the last time you heard Ghetto Jam by Domino?
Dude, for real.
Not
in any movie I've ever seen.
I immediately went to Spotify and added that shit. I was like, oh my God, I forgot this fucking song. I put that and Sweet Potato Pie on my fucking playlist.
Dude, I downloaded this soundtrack after I watched the movie.
Soundtrack's incredible.
Yeah, I was typing out notes, because normally after a movie credits roll, and you stop it and I'll type out notes or whatever. I let the credits roll because I wanted to hear the rest of the song during the credits. Yeah. And so I listened to the song, I typed out notes, and then as soon as I was done, I literally went and downloaded the soundtrack.
That was amazing. So good.
At the end of the day, for this movie, I give this 2 shots in the dick. This movie is awesome.
Yeah, no, they shot the dick right off this movie. It was fantastic.
In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah. There's a good way for that to happen, I suppose. No, this movie's great. It really is. I like it. It's definitely going to be in my catalog. And honestly, it still holds up. I mean, as far as the test of time is concerned, there are no flaws with this movie in that regard.
Yeah,
there really aren't. Like Omar Epps constantly wearing that fucking thick leather jacket in every fucking movie he's in. It's like, dude, can somebody get this guy a fucking budget for his goddamn costume? Because his wardrobe budgets are shit, apparently, in Omar Epps movies.
I was going to say wardrobe. You know, they typically have like the big cases and all the different... It's just one hanger with a leather jacket inside. Hey! That's all I got. What movies do we have coming up?
We got Cocktail, little Tom Cruise action. Probably going to see Armando slinging some bottles around like the entire time. He's a well-trained bartender, mixologist.
But there you go.
I don't know what you pretentious dicks call it. Anyway, we got Cocktail coming up. Hard Target. We got Time Cop, which you're going to hear a lot of me since I'm a karate man. Finally, we have Crimson Tide. You want to talk about ending out a dope 4-week period?
Yep.
Right there it is, man. Crimson Tide is going to be amazing to review.
Yes. Awesome. I can't wait. So that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope. XL has the con.
All right. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1999's In Too Deep.